Hello, everyone.
What up, everybody? Good to see you. Happy Halloweenies.
Pledge allegiance to the flag
Just in time for the Pledge of Allegiance.
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God.
Happy Halloween. You guys ready for tonight? You guys ready? I'm ready.
Thank you very much. Mr. Clerk, let's run through the agenda, please.
Yes,
Just
Mr.
show you
President.
Thailand
Items
for
1
1
through
second.
14 are items noticed for public
We'll
hearing.
just get this out of
Items
here.
15 through 22 are items for which public hearings have been held. The Bel Air Beverly Crest Neighborhood Council has submitted a community
Happy
impact
Halloween.
statement for item 19 in support of the matter. Items 23 through 32 are items for which public hearings have not been held. 10 votes are required for consideration.
Very good.
No
Without
costumes
objection,
need be-
members,
Yes,
those items
thank
are
you
now
so
before us.
much.
Are there any items that any member would like to call special?
Thank you, Yessie. Happy
Member
Halloween.
Rodriguez?
I'm not just whistling Dixie, no. I'm singing you a
Yes,
Bayou
I'd like to call
serenade. I
items 23 and
guarantee.
24, special for questions, and item 22 for a friendly amendment.
Do you have that available now?
I'm sorry?
Do you have the friendly
Yes.
amendment available?
Yes. In recommendation number 6, I would like to add
You have the
the Bureau of
friendly one, like
Contract
the unfriendly
Administration into
too?
the instruction.
Let me see the
BCA
unfriendly
into the
one.
instruction.
Okay, without objection, that,
Is there a second to this motion?
okay. If there's no objection, that
up,
amendment
JD?
will be accepted. Okay, Councilmember Rahman?
I had an amendment for item 21 and an additional instruction, and I believe the city attorney should have that language to read.
Okay, Mr. City Attorney.
Yes, the motion reads that I move that item 21 on today's agenda be amended to include the following additional instructions. 1, amend recommendation 7.
Just so we're clear, and some of you guys who don't follow me on Instagram, Sotomayor, Hugo, the guy you guys say, with the comb over, you guys think he's got hair plugs, but I keep telling you it's just a comb over. Sure, I'll point him out when he's here today. His advisor, his worker there for him, got caught saying a whole bunch of anti-Semitic fucking posts and shit on Twitter and everything else. Got fired. He left over the weekend. So yeah, there's that. Remember, Democrats aren't racist. It's the other side. You remember that.
Ordinance outreach and education, subject to the contractor's performance, funding availability, and approval of the city attorney as to
You
form.
can look at it yourself.
And
I
add
posted the
recommendation
Channel
number
5
12.
KTLA article about it.
Authorize the general
Read-
manager
read for yourself.
of LAHD or designee to prepare and release a request for proposals to solicit qualified
you
legal
think
service
the
providers
two that
to
left
provide
and
legal
KDL
representation
were the
services
only ones?
for the
You're
ULA
crazy.
protections from tenant harassment program to pursue a private right of action against violators of the tenant anti-harassment ordinance, subject to review and approval by the city attorney as to form, assess the responses of
Well,
the
I speak
subject
heavily with
RFP,
no filter
and
there,
submit the
crazy stick,
results
but,
with recommendations
again,
to the mayor
I'm not
and
in a
city council,
position of power,
including
one.
funding levels
And two, I'm not the
control
one
instructions.
talking about how I'm holier than thou and how
Just to
pointing the
clarify
finger the
that,
other way.
LHD is
I
available
say
to
shit
answer
all the time that
questions
gets me in
about
trouble
either of these
with
amendments,
people,
and
with
later
other
in the
folks,
meeting
with
as required.
all kinds of things.
And I also had
What's up, Tommy?
a friendly amendment for item 22.
I'm sure this ain't your
Oh,
first
there's-
day here,
Is there a
right?
second?
I'm sorry, Councilmember
So
Rahman?
you know I'm not lying.
Okay. That
If I was a good little boy
motion
and
has
just kept
been
my mouth
moved and
shut.
seconded.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
Councilmember
you.
Rahman.
And for
Look,
item
look, she's
22,
whipping
I'd
everybody.
love
Look at
to
her, her
have the
devil
opportunity
outfit.
to
Look,
have
look,
the
look,
reports
look,
also
look,
go to the
look, look.
Housing and
Oh,
Human
she whipped him hard.
Without
She
objection,
whipped
that'll be
him
the-
hard.
Thank you very much.
Bro, she whipped him hard.
I don't think that requires.
Bro,
That's
she
my
straight whipped
instruction.
him hard.
Councilmember Hernandez.
That was fucked up.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to call item 25 special for a
Out
separate
there
vote,
whipping
please.
fools, free entry. Like, what do I want to come in there for? To get my
Councilmember
ass
De Leon.
beat? Stay out here and stay safe.
Mr. Corrin, 19 and 20 for
Yeah, it's over here whipping
19 and
fools,
20
man.
for comments. Okay. Any other specialist members? I will need to call items 21
All right,
and
I'm heating up.
26 special for purposes of my recusal. In that, in an abundance of caution, because I am the owner of an apartment building that's subject to the RSO, I will be recusing on both of those matters.
All right.
All right.
Imagine if he was your landlord.
Anything else, members? Any other specials? Seeing none, Mr. Clerk, what's
Riding
available
a
for us now to
dinosaur.
vote on?
Mr. President, the council may now vote on items 15 through 18.
Those items are now
He's a
before us. I
slumlord,
see no
too.
members wishing to be heard. Let's go ahead and open the roll. Close
He's
the
like
roll
the super and shit. If you
tabulate the votes.
change one light bulb,
13 eyes.
you're out of the will. That's what he tells his little son. You better not change one.
All right.
And I mean one
we're
light
ready
bulb.
now to proceed to our presentations. And so I have the great pleasure of calling on Councilmember
Stinks
Rahman
trick-or-treating
for a
tonight?
once-in-a-lifetime
He's
special
already trick-or-treating
presentation.
on me. Asking for food all the
Councilmember
time.
Rahman, you have the floor.
I wish I could dress him up and he would allow me to like put a hat on him or something. Be fresh. He'd be even more dope than he already is. But now it'd be just like too much. He'd be way over the top. Fools would try to like steal him from me and shit, you know. Why'd they mute it? Where's my costume? I'm not wearing a costume now for tonight.
Councilmember Rahman and special guests, good morning.
Thank you so much. I am so delighted
Not
to
wearing a
be here
costume
today
for an hour and a half.
because we are going to be presenting a resolution in recognition of the 100th birthday of the Hollywood sign and to officially declare October 31st as Hollywood Sign Day in the city of Los Angeles.
Hollywood sign. Guys, did you know it's Hollywood sign day? Dude, would she stop
Okay,
whipping
so I
me
noticed
real
that some
fast?
of my colleagues are
Whipping 'em
dressed in
hard.
orange in honor of Halloween. Today was formerly known as Halloween. Today will now be Hollywood Sign Day. And
I guess.
with only one facelift, I think our Hollywood
Thanks,
sign really
Yo-Yo.
doesn't look a day over 50. It is a feat to turn 100, no matter who or what you are. The Hollywood sign,
See, why didn't you
however,
put up
has
Hollywood
achieved that
Land?
rare fame, which comes
That's what
from
it was.
being
It was
synonymous
Hollywood Land
with
before.
an entire
They
industry,
took off the land.
an entire city, and a way of life. The sign has been a defining feature of Los Angeles since before any of us
I
here
can't
today
tell
were
you, Renee.
born,
You gotta come
to
and hang out and
Imagine
see.
our city without it is truly impossible. It started as a billboard concept for a real estate development, like so much of what makes up LA.
That's what I'm
called
saying, Tony.
Hollywood Land in 1923. And on the evening of December 8th of that year, for the very first time, Angelinos looked up and saw the sign
Bionic,
twinkling,
thank you for the
lit
subscription
up by
of Twitch Prime.
3,700 light bulbs.
9 months.
The next
Thank you so
20
much.
years experienced some
Welcome
up
back
and
for more
downs,
time,
as
Bionic.
any great Hollywood career does. And in 1944, the Hollywood Land developers decided to donate the remaining undeveloped land in the housing tract, consisting of 425 acres, to the city of Los Angeles for the token price of $1. On January 30th, 1945, the city of LA formally accepted the offer and added it to the Griffith Park acreage under control of the Park Commission. In 1973, the sign was declared a historical landmark.
Jarek, just
And
hang
in
out. You'll see.
1978,
It's going to be
the sign
fun.
was rebuilt after
long as the
years
regulars
of
are there,
weathering. Since then, the
you'll see the
Hollywood
fire.
Sign Trust has cared for this global treasure, and I want to thank them for donating their time and expertise in this effort. There are many people who serve on that board, and they spend a lot of their time on it. I will now let some of these experts who have dedicated so much of their lives to the
Experts.
preservation of this treasure share a
they
little bit more about
self-appointed
their work.
experts?
And first, I'm going to introduce Jeff Zaranum, chair of the Hollywood Sign Trust, to make some remarks. Jeff?
What's up, Andrew?
Thank you, Councilmember Rahman, for dedicating today as Hollywood Sign Day. And distinguished council members, thank you for hearing us today. I was born in Hollywood, and as far as I can remember, I've looked at that Hollywood sign. But it really came to heart to me back in 1977 when I looked up at the Hollywood sign. My dad, we had some visitors from out of town, and we were driving to Universal Studios. And one of the other kids next to me in the car
What's up, John?
looked up at the Hollywood sign.
Appreciate
on
you,
our way
John.
up
Thank
to
you for the
Universal
kind words.
Studios,
Happy
and he said,
Halloween.
"Is that the Hollywood sign?"
What's up, June?
And my dad said, "Yeah." And they looked at it and they say, "Why is it broken?" why is it broken? And it was broken. It was in pieces, actually, and,
What's up,
and it
Dustin?
didn't look anything like the Hollywood sign. But I saw the disappointment in his eyes and his parents' eyes.
Hi, Laura.
Because
Happy
they
Halloween.
traveled all this way to not only visit Hollywood, but to see the Hollywood sign. It was something special
Shade
in
tree
their
mechanic.
hearts when they wanted,
Like
in
Hollywood.
order to come to Hollywood on our way to Universal Studios that day. And it was that day that I felt some sorrow for the Hollywood sign, and I felt kind of ashamed and embarrassed that our Hollywood sign that day, even as a teenager, was not in pristine shape. So, I kind of made a promise to myself that one day I would be taking care of the Hollywood sign.
Oh, she's
And I
whipping
am.
everybody.
And with my fellow trustees here today, where are you guys?
That's what I'm watching while you guys are watching this shit.
Come over here. We have Brian Lane, who serves.
you guys are stuck watching that.
Longtime trustee
See what
member
I'm
of,
watching.
of the Sign Trust. He's an architect, world-renowned, award-winning architect. So we value his participation. Marty, come over here, Marty. We have Marty Shelton. A lot of you know who Marty Shelton is. He's worked tirelessly on the Sign Trust for how many years, Marty?
Longer than I should.
Longer than he should. Longer than he should. And we have Andrea. Now, there's a lot of people don't know, but there's only 9 people on the Sign Trust. We're all volunteers. 7 of
Is that
which
Stacy
are
back
appointed
there in
by
the green,
Hollywood
like
Chamber of
hat, the hat
Commerce.
with the green on it?
And we
No,
have
that's not.
representation from the
Never
Hollywood
mind.
Chamber of
Never
Commerce.
mind.
Steve,
It's one of those
Steve
park
Gleason here,
workers.
President and CEO of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. We have Matt Fritsch. Matt, come over here, man.
Oh, come on,
Come over here.
man.
We have Matt Fritsch,
Hi, Matt.
Chairman of the Board of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce. And the significance of the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce, I used to be a board member.
You guys
and
just get the
past chair of
circle
Hollywood
jerk
Chamber.
on already.
The significance of the chamber is amazing. So back in 1978, it was the executive director. It wasn't.
I thought
called
it was Stacy.
president.
It kind of looks like her, but it's not. Look at her face. That
called
lady's
executive
face is
directors.
close.
His name was Mike Sims, and he
Looks
put together
similar.
a press conference to save the Hollywood sign, formed the Hollywood Save the Sign Committee, and the rest is pretty much history. We had the likes of Alice Cooper who was the first to come in and donate $27,777, which was the budget was $250,000, and if you take 9 letters divided by 250, it's $27,777. So that's how the fundraising went, and that fundraising went. A guy by the name of Hugh Hefner came along and saw that press conference that happened in April
Playboy.
of 1978. And he put a party together at the Playboy Mansion, and he raised another six letters. They were still 2 letters short.
I need me a bunny.
And an Italian film producer by the name of Giovanni Mazza came in, and if for those of you who used to sell your cars, you had to use the Kelly Blue Book. So the guy by the name of Les Kelly, he put in the last $27,000 to save the sign, and construction started in
It started
1978.
snowing there,
and was
Moxie?
completed.
Jeez, it's been windy
Reason why
here.
We're here today.
Like really windy
It
the
was
last 2
completed
days.
on October the 30th,
Been fires right
1978.
over here.
So you guys don't meet on Monday, so that's why we're here on Halloween
Even right
Day.
now, it's like 15 mile an hour winds right now.
That's a long story short of the history of the
pretty
Hollywood
good.
sign, of how it was
Pretty windy.
reborn. But today, it's the Hollywood sign is a representation of not only the motion picture industry, the television.
That has nothing to do with me.
radio,
That's
music,
because of
whatever,
them.
The entertainment.
They ain't trying to do that
But
because, again, some of them
as
wear
I go up to the
swastikas and
Hollywood
things
sign
like that.
on a very regular
So they're not
basis,
trying, they're
I
flicking
meet a
them
lot of
off.
people.
And
I meet a lot of people, and
so they have
come
the
from all over
capabilities to give
from
you
all
a
over the
nice
world
production.
to come and see the
But
Hollywood
the only
sign.
people
And
that
if you
get
think
that
about it,
great
the
sound and
Hollywood
that
sign
great
is
view,
just 9
are
letters
these
on
folks.
top of the hill that spells a word.
ones they deem
What
are
is that
worthy
connection that they
and
have?
themselves.
There's some kind of emotional bond that people come
As soon
to our
as the,
city
the constituents, the
visit
ones
the
that put them in
Hollywood sign.
power, get
And
up there and
last week I
start
was up there
yipping
doing
and
another
yapping.
interview, and I was climbing up the ropes.
Oh, we got to pull out, sir. They might have too many,
and
pimples.
And there was a lady up there from 2 ladies. They were actually sisters. They were from England, and they were. I think they saw.
Funny
Brad
enough
Pitt
as it
coming
is, I still remember when Tulsi Gabbard was It was during a what do you call it? One of those debates. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm surprised that so many people it didn't go viral. But if you were watching, they literally implanted a big old zit on her face during the shit, and then took it off. I'm guessing make her less attractive, or to make you think, oh, is that a zit? And then you're not paying attention to what she's saying, to minimalize her. And I still have the video. I got to repost it somewhere. I know it's probably, no, it should still be in the cloud. So I should have that video. I got to check it out. I got to put it up. It's pretty trippy.
Land of where things can
they have the
happen.
ability to do
And
what the
that's why
fuck
we
they
have
want when they want to
so
do
many
it.
people from around the world coming to see the Hollywood
Yeah,
sign,
to shift the focus, right?
to be
Yeah.
reminded of what America is.
So when I put that up, a lot of people were angry. Like, why would they do that to her? I was like, because they don't like
leave
her.
it there, but there was one other kid. I
Yeah,
always
what's not
I
to
also
like
do,
about her?
I also
She's,
interview small kids,
she's
and
a
there
smart
was
lady.
an 11-year-old, and I asked him what he was there with his parents from South Dakota, and I
But
said,
it wasn't the lady they
what does the
wanted.
Hollywood sign mean to you? And
They wanted
and he did a
Pumpkinhead.
Spider-Man stance, and he said, "It's Spider-Man." So the Hollywood sign is also people's heroes. So
They're still talking?
with that, the Hollywood Sign Trust couldn't do all of these things that we do without our PR team, which is RBI Communications. Betsy, where are you?
Man,
down
let's
there.
get the
Betsy
valet
Israel,
parker
if
outside.
you don't know,
The guy who valet parked your car
she's
outside. Let's get him in here too.
the PR company behind RBI Communications for the last 30 years, taking care of the Hollywood sign. And, I call her the mother of the Hollywood sign. If you want to know anything about the Hollywood sign, she knows it.
Bro, I don't ever
She's
want
been
to
a
see the
mentor to
Hollywood
me,
sign again thanks to
and
this
I-
speech.
and I love her.
It's gonna
for
make
all
me
the
think
things
of
that she
you.
does, but I'd like to also introduce to the other parts of her team, other people part of her team, which we have Diana Wright over here, who
I'm going to sleep. I'll see you guys later.
takes a lot of interviews down or press down to the Hollywood sign, and she's an excellent reporter. We have Megan. Where's Megan? Megan is over here. She also escorts us the press down to the Hollywood sign a lot. And then we have Rennie, who does all of our social media. Did I miss? Do we have Elizabeth Johnson from Kavanaugh Communications? She's over here. So without them, without the support of them, I don't know what we would do. They're
You'd
the ones
actually have to do
responsible
your
for putting all
job.
this together. So thank you guys for all you do. I mean, really appreciate it. We have a latecomer. We have Jerry Newman, our trustee, just walked in, or at least I saw him just on.
Old Jerry walking, smoking a joint out back.
Trustee of ours. Anyway,
Old Jerry.
am I talking too long?
Yes. Yes.
As you can see, I'm passionate about the Hollywood sign. We also
She
have.
said
you know,
yes.
I
didn't want to say it, but
did
yeah,
say
shut the
something
fuck
about
up.
The community.
Ah, her face said it all.
And we have
Her
Sheila Irani
fucking
here
face
from,
said it all. She didn't need an answer. She didn't
We have
even
Sheila
need
Irani, president
to
of the
answer.
Hollywood United Neighborhood Council, and we also have Christine O'Neill from the Lake Hollywood Estates Homeowners Association. And, these two are special people. They
Oh, we don't need to hear their backstories.
I'm copied on all these emails about what's happening at the Hollywood sign, and there's three things that they want. You listening? There's three things that they want. That's traffic control, and traffic control. Did I say that right? Did I get it right? Yeah, that's what they want. And and Nithya Raman's been working hard on that, and she's put some motions together.
Great.
But,
You're the president.
all.
Great.
I'm going to introduce Adam Burke.
Great.
Adam Burke, you all know him as LA Tourism,
Oh,
President CEO. You all
great.
know him well. Adam, come on to the stage.
Oh, man.
So I feel like I'm at risk of having like the Academy Awards. I'm gonna
Bro,
get
all
cut
you
off
guys
music
do is
production and
handle the
start trying
people
to
that
speak.
fucking go and walk
So the
around and
first
see
thing
that
is we
shit.
Celebrate
Like, what's going
arguably
on?
Hollywood's biggest star.
You-
I'm gonna say the four most
guys are-
important words you will hear.
They
all
act like
night
they
today.
built something or
will
they
be
built it. They didn't even build it.
So
They
you have
do is
that
handle the
performance.
fucking PR around
I'm
it.
really honored to join the Hollywood Sign Trust in
The fuck
celebrating
out of here! You
the
didn't build
inaugural
nothing.
Hollywood
This
Sign
shit
Day.
ain't the Whopper.
As you know,
You know,
Los
it doesn't
Angeles
play
Tourism
war
has
games and
been
shit.
serving as the official nonprofit
You know, get the
recreation
fuck out of here. What do you guys really
for
do?
our city of Angels. And
What
in
do
that
any of you
capacity,
assholes
our mission
do?
is to improve the quality of life for all Angelinos through tourism.
Fuck.
I think particularly talking about the Hollywood sign, tourism is good for our community when it's good for residents. And we have to make sure
You know,
that
you're
we
no
are
Matthew
responsible
Broderick.
stewards to make sure that the impacts of
You're no
tourism
Professor
are always positive.
Falcon.
And I'll also tell you,
You're
while
not
we're
even
still taking
Joshua,
another
the
2 to
little
3
kid who
years for us to
died.
see full
Who was
recovery
the
in
whole
sector,
point of the fucking
the
shit.
Hollywood sign is the perfect celebration. We need to get our critical overseas markets back. I'm excited to report that despite that, right now, tourism is the 4th largest employment sector in LA. We have 558,000 Angelinos working in tourism-related careers. And last year, visitors to our City of Angels contributed $34.5 billion to our local business community. So you think about what the Hollywood sign represents, and particularly here in District 4. It really has become a global beacon, and this is what a couple of you had said earlier. Everywhere I go around the world, whether I'm in India, the UK, Japan, China, the consistent theme is that the reason people come to our City of Angels is because it represents a sense of personal freedom. It's because we're a community that truly celebrates diversity and inclusion. And I think that's more important now than it has ever been, because LA truly is a place where everyone is welcome. And Hollywood, and, you know, again, Councilmember Rahman and Soto Martinez, you can personally attest to this, Hollywood epitomizes all the reasons that people come to Los Angeles. If you want to see our natural beauty, the vistas of the Hollywood sign are unparalleled. If you want to experience some of the best food, some of the best shopping, Hollywood has that, and certainly
Guys,
is
wake
the
me up when he's
unquestioned
done.
entertainment capital of the world.
Did he just get the
So
buzzer?
whether it's the Capitol Records building,
Just give
whether
him
it's
it.
the
I
Hollywood
swear I
sign,
heard
whether
it.
it's all of our
I
studios,
swear I heard it.
it is why we are going to accelerate the pace of recovery in Los Angeles. So the last thing I would say is we talk a lot about the stars of Hollywood. I don't think we should forget that
Come on,
reach
bro.
should exceed our grasp. So I guess in closing,
The
if you want
fuck's
to
on
see
his
the
ear?
true stars
Does
of
he
the
have a
universe,
fucking Band-Aid
you
in
go
his
to the
ear?
Observatory.
Fucking
You
weirdo.
see the
Enough
stars
guff
of the
from you for
cosmos.
one day. Raving
That's what the
psycho,
Hollywood sign
butchered
represents,
400
and it's
chickens
why
and
it's
screwed a
beacon
beagle.
to the world that our
Taking
City
him back
of
to
Angels
Nevada where he's
still
wanted for
shines
banging
bright.
horses.
So thank you to all of you. Together, we're going to build a brighter future for our community.
I have a buzzer somewhere in here. I just don't use it.
Bravo. Thank you, Adam, and thank you, Jeff.
There's
and
your buzzer.
since you mentioned Griffith Observatory, I also want to mention that we have the general manager of the Department of Recreation and Parks, Jimmy Kim, here. And almost as important, and perhaps more important even than
This one? Maybe
the
it's
structure of
this
the sign itself, is the land around that
I
sign.
can't find. I'm looking
And
for the
we'd
Mars
be
Attack
remiss
one.
if we
Can't
didn't
find it.
recognize and remember the extraordinary work of our former colleague, Councilmember Tom LaBonge, who saved the land around that sign, working with the Save the Peak movement and the Trust for Public Land by raising the money necessary
did
to
I do
purchase
it?
that land so it wouldn't be developed, and so that we could continue to enjoy that incredible vista that's known throughout the world in viewing the Hollywood sign. Councilmember Rahman, I have a member on the queue, Councilmember Rodriguez, followed by Councilmember Padilla, and then
Bro.
Councilmember Rahman to close.
Followed
Thank
by
you, Mr.
everybody.
President. Thank you, Mr. Rahman, for bringing this in. And Jeff, thank you for sharing that beautiful history and
Yeah, I
story.
lost my drop.
You know,
I can't
it's,
find it.
It really does.
I don't know what
I
I wrote it down
I
as.
tell when I speak to young people in particular, when they ask me how I got here, and I talk about the moments that really sparked and galvanized my interest in public service, there are moments that galvanize you to fulfill a greater purpose. And that story really reflects the deep passion that not just, you know, held by you, but I know everyone that is involved in helping to preserve and protect the very special thing that we have in the history of Los Angeles that is a huge draw. But it's a reminder how we are all stewards of that, of protecting that for our city, for the history of who we are, for that beacon of what it does represent to so many around the world. They are drawn to it because this is the city of dreams. And I want to thank you all for your role in helping to protect and preserve that beacon of our city of dreams. It is something that so many people gravitate to.
I just can't.
Fellow members of the Roman Senate, hear me. Shall we continue to build palace after palace for the rich? Or shall we aspire to a more noble purpose and build decent housing for the poor? How does the Senate vote? Fuck the poor!
Embedded amongst where you live, and that is a very complicated.
That's it in a nutshell,
situation.
ladies and gentlemen.
We continue to work to make sure that
Hi,
we
Terry.
can
Happy Halloween.
provide all of the access issues that
Happy
protect
Halloween,
what it
Terry.
means to be a resident in Los Angeles, but also
Terry, you
be
dressing up
such
tonight?
a huge attraction for something that is just
Oh, there it is.
worldwide. So
Don't run.
thank
We
you
are
for
your
your
friends.
accommodations
couldn't
for
find
what
it.
can be a very challenging situation. But to all of you, thank you so much for protecting and preserving this very valuable
Where's
city
the?
treasure.
Remember when in the scene where Mars attacks, so they want to see
We
the
know we're
Senate.
celebrating this special
So they
moment,
go and then they
in this
just
city's
pull their
history,
laser guns out,
and we know
start
how much it is
vaporizing everybody.
important
Where's that
protecting
scene
it as
happening
well. So
right
thank you all
now?
very much
Should
for
that
your work,
happen?
and
Just
happy,
vaporize all these
Hollywood
people
Sign Day.
in the air, their laser
Thank you,
guns.
Councilmember Padilla.
Well, I just want to thank all
gonna
of
be
you
a
guys for all the
stoner?
work that you do to preserve the sign
Awesome.
itself. I agree with all of your statements
Awesome.
related to it being, something so symbolic for all of the city of Los Angeles as it pertains to dreams and the attraction of talent to our city, the jobs that it creates and the impact that it symbolizes for us on a global scale. But I wanted to talk about it because of the impact that Hollywood has directly on my district.
What's up, Weed Whacker?
So
Happy Halloween.
Very directly into Los Angeles, right? When Hollywood is asleep or not doing as well as its full potential can, my district loses customers at restaurants, customers on behalf of the prop shops, the salons, the bakers. It's a really big local infrastructure and economic development that everything related to Hollywood and the people and the jobs that the Hollywood sign reminds us that we do so well when we get it right. So thank you for all the work that you do. I'm
more?
so glad that you brought this, Ms. Raman. And may
no more.
Hollywood continue to stay and thrive in LA, and may that sign continue
Weird.
to be a
Usually I
symbol to
sneeze
attract
in
the best
threes.
of the best, the most creative and talented
Sorry, guys.
out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember
Thank you,
Padilla,
guys.
for that
Appreciate
reminder,
you.
and let's hope that we're all
Apologize for
celebrating
sneezing in the
Hollywood
mic.
Sign Day today by urging our friends in labor and in management to continue to negotiate and get this deal done so we can get production back up and running in the city of Los Angeles.
Absolutely.
Councilmember Ahmed.
Well, thank you all. Just from hearing the remarks around the body and from everyone who's here today, I think it is very clear how much this sign means for this city. For me personally, my husband, as a young Indian boy, son of immigrants living in rural Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's partying
watched
over there.
TV, watched late night shows, watched Saturday Night Live, watched all of the productions out here, and dreamt of moving to Los Angeles so that he could write for TV and movies.
Bollywood.
And it was part of what his dream for himself and his family was, even when his family wasn't so excited about it. His parents definitely did not want him to move out to Hollywood. They wanted him to be an engineer. But he persevered, he came out here, and he made his dream happen. And he is one of so many people who followed their dreams out to Hollywood under the Hollywood sign and to build a life for themselves that is based in their love for movies and for creative passions. And I, for one, am so grateful to live in a city
whipping
that
out there.
welcomes so many into it.
Wind's going,
The people who are here behind me represent the entire community that cherishes this sign. The residents who live around it, represented by Sheila and Christina, the Department of Recreation Parks with Mr. Jimmy Kim, LAPD that watches over it so carefully, Captain Heredia from the Hollywood Division who is here today, people from the Hollywood Chamber, people from the Hollywood Sign Trust, people who are pushing LA's tourism industry, because this is one of the top 3 tourist attractions here in the city of Los Angeles. It brings so many people here, it brings so much money into this city, and we have to as we move forward into this next century of the Hollywood sign, use some of those dollars to ensure that we maintain the park around it and ensure
Yes,
that the
free
sign
titty checks.
continues to be a resource for people who are coming to visit it, but not to be a bother for the residents who live around it. And I make that commitment to you today that that will be this city's effort going forward. So thank you all so much for coming together and allowing
Jen.
us
Happy Halloween.
to shepherd this sign into the next century. Happy Hollywood Sign Day.
Jesus Christ.
We'll take a couple of pictures if you want to.
All right, thank you all.
Straight
very,
30
very
minutes
much
of
for
this
being
shit,
with us and
almost.
sharing this special moment in Los Angeles history.
No, I don't
here in
know.
the
Maybe
council chambers.
Maybe 20.
Councilmember
We've been going for
Rodriguez,
30.
I'd like to
Oh, there's Mr.
recognize you
Spindler. He's
for
back there. You can
a
see him right there. He's
bittersweet
flicking
announcement.
everybody off with a
Councilmember
big old
Rodriguez.
coffee in his
Thank you, Mr. President. Colleagues.
Mr. Spindler's there. Let it go.
I have the pleasure of being joined today by one of the mayor's security detail, longtime LAPD public servant, Bert Strogatz, who's a P3. So P3 plus 1? Yes. Okay. All right. So P3 plus 1, and has just 35 years of service to the city of Los Angeles. And I was talking to Bert about I had the privilege of meeting Bert when I was first appointed to the Board of Public Works. He was assigned to Mayor Garcetti's security detail, but he was also previously assigned to Mayor Villaraigosa. But when I got to know Bert, I got to know an individual, and it takes a very special person to be assigned to the mayor's security detail. This is not a traditional role by any means. You are, this security detail is a very special assignment, and it does require very special attention by the individuals who staff that. And you always find some of the most affable and kind individuals that are assigned to that detail, and Bert is among those. I was sharing with him that back when I served as a staff member to Mayor Reardon, there was always just a very special relationship that we had with the mayor's security detail. It's just an assignment that is like no other. But I do want to take a moment to highlight some of Bert's outstanding accomplishments as he concludes his 35-year tenure of service assigned to the mayor's detail and starts to figure out what comes next. And so here are some of his incredible accomplishments. Stemming from when he joined the LAPD back in 1988 and began field training with Hollenbeck Division. A year later, he was promoted to a P2, and with his first assignment in the San Fernando Valley at Van Nuys Division. He was then promoted to P3, working at Rampart Division, and was recognized for his work in the reduction of violent crime in the area. Through his career, he's worked a variety of assignments in patrol and specialized units, and in '97, he was appointed and selected to serve in the department's most elite team of officers in the Metropolitan Division.
Guys, we're
He
over
was
a
promoted
Riverside
to
fire.
P3+1 and worked as an
2,200
element
acres
leader,
burned.
mounted platoon, and
Oh, look at
security aide, senior security aide. He was,
The
of
scooper.
course, as I mentioned, served as a
look at that.
security
That thing's
detail
awesome.
for
Oh, that's a
Mayor
lead plane.
Hahn,
That's dope.
Villaraigosa, Garcetti, and Mayor Bass, ensuring and protecting
Cal
their
Fire.
safety and the safety of their families. Let's be honest, it's not
great
just
shot.
the detail that you provide to
This is
to
live
our
in
mayor,
Riverside
but
County
also
happening
to,
right now, guys.
who
We've
are
been
an
going through a
extension
lot of
service to their
wind.
families.
LA County. This
He's
is
had
Riverside
a
County.
long-lasting
It's a bit
impact
further out, but
in our
still, the
city.
wind is usually worse out there.
He's, Bert, you're just a good dude. And I really have enjoyed getting to know you over the course of the 7 years.
It's a cool fucking shot, huh?
Both that I've been on the council, but even
Yeah, I
preceding
agree.
that, my 3 years on the Board of Public Works. And you will be sorely missed. I'm sure Mayor Bass is
A lot of times
not
the
happy
the
with
recon
your
planes
decision
showing
to,
where the retardant drop should go.
take this well-deserved retirement,
So
but I
another
know
plane will
we're
follow that
likely
plane.
not to see the last of you, which I hope that is true. But thank you so much for all your years of service to the city of Los Angeles, to
Plane chase?
all of our mayors in the role of
That'd be
security
crazy.
detail. You
I
will
do
be
remember being
truly,
live
truly
when that
missed, and
dude
thank you for your
stole the
service.
plane and crashed it on that island in like Seattle.
Do you want to say it? No?
What do you mean? This is the news. This is Channel 4. So we're watching their helicopter
That's
view.
part of being part of the mayor's detail as well.
See, look at how the wind's
Not giving
pushing the
speeches.
smoke.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for all your great years of service
Guys,
to our
we'll go
city
back to
and
it.
to 3 mayors. All right. With that, we're ready to begin the public comment
Sky King, that's what he was.
section
Yeah,
of our
that was
meeting.
his name,
So,
the Sky
Mr.
King.
Clerk, Mr. City Attorney, if you could please read in the instructions for comment.
Thank you, Mr. President. As indicated on the agenda, members of the public wishing to offer public comment
Helicopter,
should call
no drone.
669-254-5252 and use meeting ID number 160-535-8466.
You can see the push of the
and then
wind,
press pound.
how hard
Then
it's
press pound
pushing.
again when prompted for participant ID.
You know?
Once admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to
It's
request to speak.
exploded
When it
overnight
is your
to
turn speak,
2,200
an automated Zoom
acres.
voice will ask you to press star
There's been
6
quite
to
a few
unmute. Let me repeat. Call
evacuation orders in place.
669-254-5252 and use
And there
meeting
were a
ID
few
number
houses burnt, so
160-535-8466 and then press pound. Then press pound again when prompted for a participant.
Now you
ID.
want to call in,
Once
guys.
admitted into the meeting, press star 9 to request to
669-254-5252.
speak. When it is your turn to speak, an automated Zoom voice will ask you to press star 6 to unmute.
To people providing public comment, when it is your turn to speak, either at the podium or on the phone, please state which of the agenda items you would like to speak to, and/or whether you want to provide general public comment. You will have 1 minute per item, up to 3 minutes total, for the items open for public comment. And, if you wish, 1 minute for general public comment. Please speak to the items before beginning general public comment. We will tell you when your time is up. When speaking on the agenda items, you must be on topic. Our goal is to get through as many speakers as we can. If you are not on topic, or if we cannot tell whether you are speaking on topic, you will get one brief warning from me
Look, he's
or
dressed
the
as
president.
a cat today.
At that point, you need to get immediately and clearly on topic. If you do not do so, or if you again stray off topic,
Hi,
you will
cat.
forfeit the rest
Happy
of your
Halloween.
speaking time, and we will move on to the next speaker. The items open for public comment are 1 through 14, number 21
Really
as
patchy.
amended, and 23
You can see the
through
dozer
32.
lines too.
You may, of course,
Getting
speak
those
to
dozers
any
out
of the
there.
other items or anything else within the city's subject matter jurisdiction during your 1 minute of general
He's
public
wearing a
comment.
tuxedo today. That's
For
it.
members of
Look
the
at
public
him.
calling
Oh.
in, when it is your turn to
Oh,
speak, an automated message from Zoom will prompt you to press star 6 to unmute yourself. If you do not do so, council staff will prompt you once more. At that
Shout out
point,
to
you need
Fantastic Sam's
immediately
for getting
unmute
them
yourself,
looking great.
Or unfortunately, you will forfeit your time and we will
Hi,
move on
Calamity
to the
Girl.
next speaker.
Happy Halloween.
Finally, because of a brief
Good
time
morning.
delay
It's
between
almost
the
good
live
afternoon,
meeting and the
huh?
broadcast,
Yeah, it's almost.
2 things are important. First, while you're waiting for your turn to speak,
Yeah, it's been super
please
windy
keep
here.
an ear to the
Last
phone
2.5
so you
days,
know
and
in
it's still
real
windy now.
time when it is your
We got
turn
a
to
15
press
mile an
star
hour
6 to
sustained
unmute.
wind right now.
Second, if you are listening
With gusts
to the
up to
meeting
like
on
almost
another
30.
device, please turn down the volume on that device immediately when it is your turn to speak. Between the time delay and
So
feedback,
Clark W.
it will
Griswold
cause a
and all
great
those
deal of
guys down the
confusion
street had to
if you
take a
continue
lot
to
of
listen on
their
your other
stuff down. I
devices.
felt bad
Thank
for
you.
them. They had to lay it down because, dude, the wind was
All right,
whipping.
I'm going to call out a number of names
wanna lose it.
here in the council chamber.
There
so
it
as
is,
I call your name, please
Fantastic
make your way
Sam.
the
Shout out
left-hand
to
side of the
Fantastic
chamber
Sam.
so
You can
our
go
sergeants
get yourself looking
guide
good.
you up to the podium.
Get yourself looking
Harry
great.
Elliott,
Get
John
faded up.
Scudder, Fred
Fantastic
Sutton,
Sam.
Ada Murillo, Brian Kinney, and Chuck Trujillo, please.
I think I already did one. Hold on, let me get the camera going here. Zoom
You don't need to speak in that order. Just come on up and be prepared to go on up when the sergeant directs you. Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please
See,
remind
and that's
us of the
me
names
zooming
signed
in
up
too. You
under
guys are like, oh, how
items
come we
you'd
don't
like to
get
speak
that?
on.
Fred
Oh, there's
Sutton,
look, there's
California
Mr.
Apartment
Sachs. We got
Association,
Mr.
general
Spindler
public
for
comment,
sure.
item 26.
Those two for sure.
So you
Without a
have,
doubt.
1 minute for the item and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the item.
Honorable council members, it's been 13 years since
Did he
the
say honorable?
last RSO annual adjustment study, and it's important that the council understands all facets of operating. We urge the members to ensure any review is comprehensive and includes a cumulative economic analysis of operating costs and circumstances. CA has long contended CPI alone doesn't account for the costs incurred by housing providers, nor account for the quality or condition of a property. There are specific market realities in Los Angeles that must be included in any economic analysis, such as the cumulative economic impact of a 4-year rent freeze, COVID rent collection prohibitions, uncollected bad debt, the resulting court delay costs, as well as correlating refinancing issues. Any study should also include an analysis of property insurance increases, balcony inspection mandates, earthquake retrofit mandates, increase in gas costs and utilities, personnel and payroll increases, real estate taxes, recyclate, trash increases, and rent registry data should also be made available, including average rent by bedroom size and average year-over-year rent increases across the board since data has been made available. We thank you for your consideration and look forward to being a part of this process. We also submitted a letter to the public file. Thank you.
Get him.
Next speaker,
You got
please.
me. Where's Pickle Dick? Old Pickle Dick ain't there yet.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Yes, good morning. My name's John Scudder.
Shout out to John.
In regards to items I'd like to speak on 1, 2, 3, 26, 31,
All
general
of them,
comment,
big dog.
and I have a question. Last week, we had item 18 that was item 20-0841
So I'm sorry.
37.
So,
My
for
question
any
is
comments about the items from last week, you can speak to during general public comment, but you have 3 minutes for the
Excuse
items
me.
and 1 minute for
No,
general
he may be a
public comment.
Caltrans
You
worker.
interrupted my sentence. This was supposed
Or
to
construction.
be on docket for this week, and it got moved, and I do not see it. If I missed it, could you redirect me to it? That's where I was going with this. This was item 18 that got pulled from last week, that was supposed to be put on docket for this
Fall
week.
asleep on me.
People addressed it last week, even though we weren't allowed to, and I did not see it in today's minute orders. So can you help me out?
Sir, can you describe what that item was? Because we don't
Sure,
know from
Mr.
the item
Report-
number alone.
Actually, can I get a deputy here and I can just hand you the thing from last week? Hey, boss.
Hey, boss. Garçon.
It primarily had to do with the Housing Homeless Committee report.
I would have made
I'm
a,
gonna bring you
a
the-
fucking paper
the
airplane.
paper from last week out of the docket.
Oh, thank you. The Browns signed Kenyon Drake. All right, maybe he can start winning some football games and people buy my Kenyon Drake cards.
So, sir, I think somebody's going to look into that, but in the interim, we're going to start with the items that you'd like to speak
Didn't he
to.
go to
So,
Alabama?
3 minutes for the items.
That's a good
and
school.
1 minute for general public comment.
That doesn't mean
You might not receive an answer, or you likely won't receive an answer from me here, but somebody hopefully will come to the side and let you know. So go
I'd
ahead and begin with-
appreciate that, or if you could get my phone number and let me know when it's gonna be, so I can come and attend.
I say you just give out
I
your
mean,
phone
I
number
come
right now,
because I
big
take
guy.
time from my work.
Yeah, it may be difficult, but if you can start on your items and then you can speak to general public comment.
So I get 1 minute for every item?
3 minutes total, 1 minute maximum per item, and then, yes, 1 minute for general public comment.
So I have 3 minutes for 6 items.
Yes.
Okay, let's get started. Item number 1 has to deal with issuing a license for alcohol. I say no to that. I don't know if city council's aware of that, but there are 2 elementary schools in that area. One less than 70 feet away, the other one exactly 1 block away. The liquor stores actually attract a lot of homeless people and alcoholics and drunks, and we have kids that need to get home safely. So I say no to the alcohol in that particular area. On item number 2 and 3 that has to deal with lighting improvements, I say no to those lighting improvements. I showed up here 3 weeks in a row in regards to lighting on Union Pacific between Spence and South Grande. Once again, Union Pacific between Spence and South Grande. We've had no street lights for 6 months. I ran a cabinet shop there. We've had 12 break-ins. We need lighting. In regards to item number 21, it has to deal with the ADUs. There needs to be more specific information on that and the amounts that are going to be given out. The city did this years ago. I know I'm a licensed contractor. I did some of those. With those ADUs, there needs to be a dollar amount called out, which I don't see. I think the biggest problem with that is if there could be 3 or 4 set designs that were approved plans so that there's not such a holdup with trying to get stuff passed with the City Planning Commission. I mean, right now they're still in COVID mode, so what would take 3 months is 6 months to a year. It's a big holdup, especially with the rising increase in materials and gas. It completely destroys our quotes and our contracts as a contractor and as a small business person here. And I think another thing that should be added in that is container homes, something that can be an approved container home that could be set and dropped as a granny flat or an ADU. With that ADU, I think there ought to be specifics on it that, number one, it's rented to a veteran or disabled veteran first. Second, a disabled person, because when I look around our homeless population, that's what I see the most of out there. Third, anybody else, but it should be homeless people to decrease our homeless situation here. On item number 26, the roundtable meeting, I would love an invitation to come, to be invited to that. On number 31, in regards to the Salvation Army, there is no information as to what you're going to do with the $440,000 that you're going to be allocated to the Salvation Army and how that is to be used, and if we're going to have to provide quarterly reports or how the money is used or spent, unlike what we did with LAPD with $1.2 billion with no sunset clause. So,
General public comment?
okay, General, let's rock and roll. I've been here 3 weeks in a row. I'm a small business owner. I'm a street vendor. I have coffee carts. 5 more small businesses got robbed. If you watch the news, one of those small businesses is the 3rd time in 3 months. We spend all the money on police. Police patrolling needs to be stepped up to protect us. In regards to those businesses, the city should take some of the money away from the police department and put together a grant program for repairs from robberies, because you're putting small businesses out of business because we're not being protected. And that's not cool. I, John Scudder, live 2 blocks down the street here, right behind the Chinatown Library, 719 Yale Street. We had a shooting outside my driveway. We need police patrolling. We've had multiple cars robbed, including me. I had a construction truck stolen, fully loaded, along with a car.
Speaker, your time has expired.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, next speaker, please.
No, he's definitely dropping all facts on him. I didn't disagree with anything he had to say. No, the man works. He ain't over there. You notice he didn't ask for nothing.
Good morning. If you
Good
could
morning.
please remind
Other
us of
than
the name
more
that you signed
policing.
up under and the items you would like
Which
to
his
speak
tax dollars already pay for.
Real public comment.
on. So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Good morning, council members. Pleased to see you all again. I'm glad to be here on, surprisingly, the 100th celebration of the Hollywood sign. And ironically, our numbers a little bit dwindled today because a lot of my colleagues are up there at the Hollywood sign right now filming a commercial. And as you know, the Hollywood sign is a very
sitting there
sensitive
watching a
area,
commercial being
and
filmed.
we have to keep it open to the public at the same time for tourists and so forth, while monitoring the production. This production was interesting because it took numerous scouts to go up there and actually see what they want to do. But once we arrive, production always comes in and still tries to do what they want to do. That's the reason we're there, is to make sure they're going to do what we said they could do. And we're there to protect the sign. We're there to keep the public happy. And we do feel for the neighbors there. You know, that traffic does get pretty hairy sometimes, even for us to get up there. So just want to give you a better idea of what we do. Thank you.
So you sit there and watch it getting filmed, eat catering all day. What a job.
Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Brian Kinney, general comment.
Okay, so you have 1
Shout out
minute
to
for
Brian
general public
Keeney.
comment.
I'm a struggling actor, and I've been in Los Angeles for 16 years. During that time, I've run an honor system stand, vending snack stand, based on the honor system at the entrance to Runyon Canyon Park. After 5 years of doing this, I achieved prescriptive easement rights to maintain and continue using the property. This is currently under attack by Dorchester Properties, who intends to treat the stand as trash and dispose of it. I would like to, in addition to this, I would like to propose to the city that this stand has been successful and it has garnished wide community support, and it has kept me sustaining myself in this great city for this time. And I would like to propose a pilot program where we identify locations where honor systems could be placed throughout parks or wherever in the city that it could potentially succeed, and it could create work for more people.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Next speaker, please.
It'll work up in the mountains where people are over there trying to Instagram all day and hike. We ain't putting that shit in the
Good
inner
morning.
city, bro. This
Good
shit
morning.
get robbed in an
And
hour.
if you could please remind us of the name you signed up under.
It's Ada Murillo.
So you have 1
Downtown
minute
is
for
getting
general public
robbed.
comment.
Thank you. Good morning, council members, council president. My name is Ada Murillo. I'm sure you're very familiar with me. I am vice president of Local 3090, and I represent over 90 classifications in the city of Los Angeles, some of them being the park monitors and some of them being the zoo members. If I can please ask that we please try to get the park monitors proper IDs, because we did have a hard time coming in because according to security, they do not have proper IDs. So please help us get them into the building so they can state their cause. Also, I am asking that we have security at our public locations, the library, at the zoo, not on an overtime basis. These are critical city locations. They should be able to provide LAPD the services that guests and our members are to have to attend these kinds of locations. So please work with me and continue to have the LAPD to move their full-duty officers out into the field. Thank you.
Thank you.
She's clearly never used a mic before.
Okay.
No reason to.
Lily Trujillo Puckett, Marika Jett, Raymond Liu, Harriet Elliott, and Andrew Graebner, please.
Oh, Andrew Graebner. Might as well get it
That's
up
all the
now.
speakers that I have
Under or
signed up.
over 25. Under or over 25. 25. Put it in the chat. He'll be up here.
Good morning. If you could
Briefly.
please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Marika Jett, General Public.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Monitors help make LA the entertainment capital of the world. We, essential city employees, also serve as disaster service workers, most recently during the pandemic and now with migrants being bused here from Texas. We deserve a living wage. We have high-level training to preserve and protect property and liaison with the public, the film companies, and the city.
I mean, what can
Highly
you do
trained
at Channel Points
locations
anyways?
Like the Hollywood sign, monitors
What do they do?
protect this cherished, world-renowned icon and other iconic facilities in Elysian Park. We ask for your help today as we have suffered horribly during this multiple strike unions this year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker.
Oh, here he
Good
is.
morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
I signed up for a bunch of them, over 3 of the items, so 3 minutes, and then general comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for
Full
the
list
items.
is on Paul's screen. Let's see. We have, starting off with item 23, redoing the state of emergency on homelessness in the city. Now we can definitely say that, yeah, there's a lot of people unhoused, and we need to do something about that. But let's just look at the way the city's handled the state of emergency. You know, the mayor declared a state of emergency on homelessness, and what did what did you all immediately do? You ended the eviction moratorium. Like, you know, if that should be the first thing you do if you have a state of emergency on homelessness, is you put in a moratorium on evictions, because we're already saying, okay, we have a lot of people who are unhoused. So let's not make more people unhoused. All inside starving is just, putting 6 people in cheap motel rooms with no food or housing or no food or blankets or anything, and just, sweeping everyone else to who knows where. Just more sweeps. Stop the sweeps. Let's see. Item 24 is kind of the same thing. We have item 25. This is related to street takeovers, supporting something in the state legislature. So we don't want more cops. We don't want more any of that. So no on that. We have item 26, which is related to the rent stabilization ordinance. Again, we have a state of emergency on homelessness. Why are we discussing, increasing the rent? You're not even, everything you do is completely contrary to what you should be doing in a state of emergency, declared state of emergency on homelessness. Raising the rent, evicting people, you're not, that should be.
Stop spamming Ryan and
have a state of
Cyan.
emergency, you're saying so many people are unhoused.
Okay, move on to another agenda item. You've
I'm
already
speaking
spoken
on
about.
item 26.
Hold this time. Ms. Lewis, you are instructed to be quiet while you're in the council chambers and not disrupt the action of this meeting. You're instructed and warned, as you have been previously. Mr. Gravener, go ahead.
And you also selectively enforce the rules. Let's see. We have item 27 for a reception in the Tom Bradley room. What is the reception? It doesn't actually say what it is. That should be clear. You should hold that item until you've at least figured out told us what the reception is. Item 28, a Kevin De Leon motion. You shouldn't be voting for these motions. And we've been told that repeatedly.
General public comment?
I know. I'm on general comment. So we have item 28 is a Kevin De Leon motion. Nobody should be voting for his motions. Why hasn't anyone called it special? I'm wondering who can challenge Ulysses from the left in 2026, because you have been told continuously to stop voting for his motions. Are you going to do it or not? Stop voting for his motions. At one point you promised you'd walk out if he showed up at all. Stop voting for his fucking motions. Kevin De Leon needs to go. You all need to be doing more to get him out of office. Krikorian needs to be removed as council president. The cops need to be removed from this chamber. God.
Oh,
Next
28.
speaker, please. And there were a couple names that I neglected to call. I apologize.
Yeah, you went over today, guys.
Sandra
Not by
James
much, just by 3.
Chambers Myers, please. Good morning.
Good morning.
You can't
Could
breathe
please
with the
remind us
mask
of the
on.
name that you signed up
Gets all
under and
frustrated
items you
and
would like to
shit.
speak on?
That's his angry rock out. That's the mic
right?
drop.
My name is Raymond Liu.
He just dropped the mic on you.
And which items would you like to speak on?
No item, sir. Public opinion.
So you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you. Hi, good morning. My name is Raymond
put him in a
Liu. I'm
timeout.
Prax Activity Film Monitor and a member of the AFSC ME Local 3090. Many people are unaware of our Park Film Office and what we do. Our job is a very unique skill set. With that said, today I am assigned at the Hollywood sign at noon today, so I have to wrap this up pretty quick, and I'm nervous about it. However, I'm proud to be here for the 100th celebration of the Hollywood sign. My job is to protect the sign and to protect the public, as well as the personal property of the sign area. So with that being said, my position as a park activity monitor puts me in a very tight position to serve and protect.
Activity monitor.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much, sir.
Activity
Next speaker, please.
monitor. So you watch the park. You watch them film. You watch kids play. Make sure the fucking what was it? The carom game isn't getting too crazy. The kids ain't betting on caroms.
You can hand the materials
Remember
to the
caroms
sergeants.
when you were a
and
kid?
I'm sorry, if you could please remind us
It's
of
like
the
pool.
name that you signed up under and
Like
the
little kid
items you would
pool.
like to speak on.
Learning billiards at an early age.
I signed up for.
I used to like caroms.
And please speak into the mic so that I can hear you.
Ma'am, go ahead and lower the mic and speak into the microphone, please, so we can hear you.
My name is Harriet Elliott. I signed up for Amar Road, which is improvements on Amar Road, which is 23090.
This is a hall
S49.
monitor. What's up, BJ?
I'd like to see that the council members get this before I start talking.
Are there any other items, or it would just be that item, which is
Just a minute on that item, and all I have
Hopefully
to
there's
say
no
about
chocolate
that is
in
that's
it,
where I
Drew. It's
grew
not
up
good for 'em.
On Fairgrove in La Puente near Amar Road, and I'm for this improvement. I'm surprised that anyone could be against it. Amar Road was very hard to cross as we were kids. I'd like that council member to. Okay, I'm now speaking on general comment.
Okay, general public comment.
Okay, I don't go back to La Puente, by the way, even though I lived there 18 years, because I'm being degraded and defamed. Okay, it's a CIA
Yeah, Cortland.
campaign. The CIA, what is the CIA doing? They're not even, they're obscure. They don't even say that they have this thing called mind read radar. If you read her book, and Renee Pittman, you're going to find out about mind read radar. And I hope she's not like me. She's very religious and she believes in psychic. I don't believe in anything psychic. Okay. However, I believe Renee was killed. Yeah. And I would like someone to go with me and to try to investigate Renee Pittman. I believe my 2 teachers were killed. One teacher wrote a letter of recommendation so I get in the foreign exchange program before I graduated. Another teacher, we all cried in class about my son.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
She is crazy. Bad shit crazy.
Good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Good morning. Thank you. You could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items
Straight
you'd like
nutter.
to speak on?
Yeah, my name is Seth Lewandowski, and I'm here for general public comment as a park monitor.
I'm sorry, an item what?
Park just general public
activity
comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Thank you.
A park monitor.
$1.9 million. That's the amount of money the city of LA potentially loses every year because of how grossly they undercharge companies like Netflix and Amazon to use our public parks. Now, where did I get that number? Here in LA, we charge productions $38 per hour per monitor as part of their permit. We monitors get $22.68 per hour, and the city takes in the other 15 and change. In the city of Santa Clarita, they charge productions almost 2.5 times that to use their parks. That's $92 per hour for their monitors. Monitors there get up to $40 an hour, and the city collects at least the other $52 per hour. Now, in LA, based on how many monitors we have and the hours we work, if we match that fee schedule, the city of LA would take in an additional $1.9 million per year. In our current negotiations, we monitors aren't even asking for $40 an hour. The most we're seeking is $38. It's not unreasonable, and it would bring us in line with monitors in other municipalities. And we're just asking for your help to get somewhere close to that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, please.
Man,
And
these
as
guys are-
our next speaker,
$23 an hour to sit around and just watch shit happen.
Sign up, so if you're going to speak, go to the side, please.
And that ain't enough.
Good morning.
Okay,
Good morning.
Good morning. If you could please remind us of the name that you signed up under and the items you would like to speak on.
Sandra Chambers and James Myers. He's back there. But this is about the homeless for Hopkins. They have you in the program for a year. It's the homeless. And then we did everything they said, and we never received our vouchers. They start selling the vouchers for $400 a piece if you're a couple. So that's $800 we can't afford. And I'm like, well, that's not right. So we went downtown to the library over there, and the case manager told us to give
to
this,
YouTube, Imam.
this to the president at the meeting today so he can see the names of the people that was involved in Hopkins. You guys are donating money to them, billions of dollars, for them, for we can have places for when you're homeless and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. and it's time to be heard about that. That's not good, you know. The people that need it, they're not giving it to them. If you pay for it, so if we do the program, why do we have to pay $400 a piece for the vouchers? So I want you guys to look into that because they're taking a lot of money from y'all, these programs, and they're not doing what they're supposed to. They're abusing it. And we stayed there, and my boyfriend, he's 74, he got sick, you know, in the parking lot. They send you to the
General
parking
public
lot.
comment?
Well, I'm finished. I just want you to know he's bringing you the paperwork.
All right, thank you very much. Next speaker.
Oh, here he is.
Good morning. Which items would you like to speak on?
Yes, in honor of Hugo, we're signing up as Joshua Androsky.
That's the
All
guy who got in
items
trouble
general
talking about Jewish
You have
folks.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute
Lost
for
his
general
job.
comment. Please
Yeah,
start with the item.
Finally, somebody does something good. When you do a good job, one of you 15 criminals, none of you listening, of course, I say good job. Look at 31. Heather Hutt's actually doing something right. What's going on? Well, she's going to spend $455,000 to try to clean up that Park Bridge gang-infested drug-running area called a Bridge Home. That's on Wilshire and Lafayette Park. That's right across from Nithia's and right over next to Ulysses. Because Ulysses has all the tents on the 1st District side. And Heather's going to try to clean it up. See, I got back on topic, you dumb shit attorney. Now we get to number 8. Element leadership. That's Marchese. There is no leadership in CD8. CD8 is a shithole. And it'll always be an economic shithole because it's ran by people who are full of shit. You know, like Buckethead over there in the 15th District.
Buckethead, that's
over
it.
on him. What about
Oscar.
Kevin? Oh, Kevin wants to honor Domestic Violence Awareness Month on 28. Yes, remember, and this is a great quote I heard one time, don't beat your bitch when she has her cell phone in her hand.
Get on the
That's a
agenda.
good advice. Well,
Get on the agenda.
Yes, that's for the Defense Council out there. Then we get to the lighting districts. And look at this. Pat McOsker, known as...
Get on the agenda, or else your time has expired.
Well, asshole, he has how many lighting districts? Does Pat Buckethead McOsker have lighting districts on the agenda?
That's
He
Pat
sure
McOsker, by
does.
the way.
So he continues to unfairly tax his residents there on the island. We call it the island. That's over in that harbor. And the harbor is a gang-infested criminal piece of drug-running shit, so he needs a lot of street lights.
No, he doesn't like the
over
light.
there.
You see the light
And
coming
we
in?
had some gang members, and I'll play one of the recordings here. I did an interview.
Doesn't want the
Let's see
light
what he
coming in.
said.
No, you won't do that. You'll speak.
No, it's just
No, this is not time for audio visual
all right.
presentations.
All right.
Speak.
Okay, I'll paraphrase. Can I paraphrase? The reason you need street lights is so that Pat can have his dealers sell their items and show the merchandise better. That's the reason why he needs new street lights.
He's
but I'm
doing it,
against
Joe.
it. And
In
then
a
we
red
get
shirt.
to the evil of Imelda Marcos Padilla in CD6. Shame on Imelda for trying to create drunkenness on Van Owen Street, one of the most filthiest pieces of shit streets. Oh, look! It's a fucking accused
Speak
felon.
to the agenda.
Oh, boy.
Okay,
Oh,
go to
boy,
general
look, there's
public
a felon
comment.
in front of me there. Oh, boy.
Okay, your general public comment is
There's a
over.
felon,
so now
Karen
we
Price.
see, you can see here to the front of me in that pink shirt there, that's the 10 count indicted felon. Let's give him a hand. Hey. Yeah. Yes, and that's right. And then, of course, we got Kevin and Gil filing those lawsuits. Then, by the way, they are exactly drafted the exact same way, probably by the same lawyer. What was that called? Somebody did that before at the DWP. Oh, the Jones case. Yeah, kind of reminiscent of that, you know. And then one's going to sue the building for the homeowners, the property insurance rider, and the other one's only going to sue the two assholes that did the recording. So I think that's right. And let's see, Ulysses, do you think, how much should De Leon get for that? Let's see. I believe he'll get $1. Good job. Let's keep up the good work, and good luck on those criminal charges there, Mr. Price. Yes, you'll need it.
All right, thank you. Your time's expired. That will conclude comment here in the council chamber.
That's it?
And we'll go next to the phones.
many people
for 15
was
minutes
there?
of comment from callers. Let's take the first caller, please.
Man.
First caller, which items would you like to
Oh,
speak on?
how does my vagina look on Halloween?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. I would like to speak on items 31, 28, 27, 26, 24, 23, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay. 23 is regarding the mayor's emergency declaration for homelessness. Interesting thing about this emergency declaration, there's no rent freeze, there's no eviction moratorium.
Oh, that's Stacy.
The main function of it is to expedite building contracts. Now, I don't know what kind of emergency y'all have ever experienced where we
Yeah, I
go,
did, Ruska.
quick, we need to expedite this process of something that'll take years. Even if we start today, it'll take years. In an emergency, you typically look around for resources you have, like the roughly 2.5 vacant units for every unhoused resident that exists in Los Angeles, and you use that. You look at what capital incentives are profiting off of the crisis, and you curb them. But this emergency declaration, all it does is make it really easy for developers to line their pockets. And then 24 is an emergency action plan. That's super vague, but okay, thanks, Mayor Bass. You do those emergency contracts. 26 is an economic study about the rent stabilization ordinance. My problem with these studies is that you get funding for them, you use the public's time to pass the motions for studies, and then time goes by and we never hear back. We're still waiting to hear back from the report on 4118. So I don't know if $180-some thousand for this study is going to be money well spent. That's information that would be good to have, but I don't know why it's going to cost us so much to get that information. Item 28 is a real fucking joke. Let's light up the 6th Street Viaduct for Domestic Violence Awareness Month. As a survivor of domestic violence, I can say with absolute certainty that those lights aren't helping. Domestic violence is the leading reason why women become homeless. If you want to help victims and survivors of domestic violence, get people off the street, make housing a human right, make health care free, those are all the things that are going to help DV victims a lot more than lighting up a bridge. And I don't know why we're entertaining Kevin Baileyon's motions. Anyway, a lot of you promised that you wouldn't.
It's also the leading cause
you're
of cops'
making on those
deaths.
promises, and that's really upsetting. Item 31,
No
$455,000 to the Salvation Army. That's a highly controversial, and I would say maybe not the best organization to get public funding. But the biggest issue with this motion, in my opinion, is the part towards the bottom that says corrections, clarifications, and changes may be made orally, electronically, or by
General
any
public
other
comment?
means. We shouldn't ever see the phrase by any other means on a funding motion. That makes no sense. So today we honored the Hollywood sign. Imelda Padilla made some remarks about how the sign is, such an economic beacon because of the historicity of it and
It is
all the
true, Simon.
businesses and industries that thrive because of the Hollywood sign. Now, average rent in Hollywood is about $2,700. Most people who work in Hollywood don't make nearly enough to afford that, Imelda. So when you're talking about these opportunities that this stupid sign created, honoring a whole bunch of rich people who, take care of an empty plot of land, and commiserating with poor, filthy, rich folks who are upset about tourists in their neighborhood. I'm sorry, don't live near the Hollywood sign if you don't want people in your backyard. Like, You're wealthy enough to move.
Thank you.
Y'all
Next
are
caller, please.
No, but it is the
Caller,
leading
which items
cause
would you
of
like to
death
speak
for
on?
cops because it's the most dangerous call that cops go on.
Go ahead, caller.
It is an epidemic. We hear it all the time, every night.
I'll speak on all items and general comment.
Oh, that's
The items,
Robot
so we have
Dog.
3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public
Straight up
comment.
Robot.
Please begin with the items.
Thank you. The Los Angeles City Council is a criminally insane, corrupt institution of organized
So,
crime.
caller, I'm going to ask, please identify which of the item you're speaking on.
I'm talking about the votes. That's what I'm talking about. All votes are yes votes. Sit there and listen.
So again,
Now,
I'm going to need you to be more
state of
specific than that. So,
emergency item-
caller, this is your last warning. Please identify which item you're speaking on, or I'm going to move you to general public comment.
What's Buckethead doing over here?
I'll tell you what, Mr. Potato Head, I'll move myself to general public comment.
So, general public comment. You have 1 minute.
Homelessness has increased by over 10% every year. They're talking and making these stupid presentations up there, grinning and talking with these stupid presentations, public, because they don't know how to do anything else. They're just going back to their districts and try to get spread money around to get reelected. These black clowns make up 20% of the city council. We're 11% of the population, double represented. Why are we nearly 50% of the homeless, incarcerated, and unemployed? Because these self-serving Negroes like Marquise Dawson, indicted criminal Price, who shouldn't be voting there, Ridley Thomas, Heather Hutt, do not represent the people. And we will not get any progress on homelessness until this corrupt, petty, pink-faced dictator.
Caller, your time has expired.
Thank you. Next caller, please.
Caller, which
True.
items would you like to speak on?
He's mad.
Yeah, hi,
Should be.
Daniel Gus, Substack.com. Just general public comment.
Daniel Gus.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Yeah, hi. Council members, as you know, very unfortunate situation over the weekend with a senior advisor, Josh Androsky, in Hugo's office. And as I have pointed out just a couple of weeks ago, several of the council members who were endorsed by the DSA have stayed silent when the DSA was publicly celebrating the murderous rape, torture, and terrorism that took place in Israel at the hands of Hamas. It would appear that in their silence, Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Soto Martinez, Ms. Rahman, and perhaps Ms. Mejia, that this was a silent wink and a nod that, hey, anti-Semitism is okay, which may be why Mr. Androsky felt it was okay to mock the Holocaust online. It's a cautionary tale of how when you don't speak up about clear terrorism, murder, rape, and torture, and beheadings of children, and children being raped in front of their parents, that it's a wink and a nod to some of the potential
Mr. Gus, your time has expired.
Thank you. Next speaker, please.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Man.
26, 23, and general public comment.
Okay, so you have 2 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay, 22.
Go right ahead.
You guys are giving money to situations that are not helping the homeless here. And it makes little to no sense. $54 million. You're going to show reports showing that you help the homeless get off the streets. A revolving door situation, but like a government entity, you will present to the public that you got them off the street. For as little as 30 days, yet no less, you got them off the street. And that's false information. Yes, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You guys really got to clean this up. The people are still homeless out there. You haven't done nothing with $54 million, and you need to speak forward and help these people get off the streets. Not for 30 days, not some false paperwork on somebody's desk. You got to really help these people. General public comment.
Okay, general public comment, you have 1 minute.
You have people out there, the mayor come out here and say Public Works is getting money, sanitation department is getting money for pothole repair. Yet your budget didn't show that as your priority. You made sure priority was to get LAPD overtime money. Now everything that's being done during LAPD's work is through Monica Rodriguez on overtime basis. We're going to have a festival. Let's get overtime security guards. Not somebody coming in from the lower ranks making less money to get that overtime. We're going to get senior officers to come in and make triple that number. You guys really got to figure this out before they just keep pulling this wool over your faces. And I'm talking to the public because it's an election year. You guys are going to keep doing what you're doing, but the public needs to be aware of what you're doing. If not, they're going to keep voting in the same corrupt, again, the lobbyists.
No board.
They're getting these people reelected. Why? Because it's going to get...
Caller, your time has expired.
Caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller!
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak on?
Yes. Good morning. So is 21 available?
So yes, number 21. No, 21 is not open for public comment.
Okay.
Oh, hold on.
Okay, so
That one ended, sorry.
22, 28, and 31, please, and general public comment.
So number 22 is not open for public comment, but number 23 and number 24, which also deal with homeless-related items, are open for public comment.
Sure. 20. Just pick one. 23.
Okay, so I'm sorry, you said item number 23 and which one?
Pick one.
23, 28, and 31.
Okay, so you have 3 minutes for the items and 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin with the items.
Okay, thank you. So, again, we're talking about an emergency declaration. Yet this city has not done anything to protect this emergency. We're evicting people. We are, we're not housing people. We're literally just, I don't even know what we're doing. We're not doing anything.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop it already.
So let's make sure that if it's an emergency, let's do something about it. I worked for the Red Cross, and when there was an emergency, we dealt with that emergency. And it was 24/7. It wasn't Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. This isn't an emergency. This is just a pat on the back for our mayor and for all you idiots in the chamber that don't do anything on a weekly basis. Number 28.
Oh, you idiots.
Domestic violence is this is the Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I love the fact that the domestic violence person in the room, Mr. DeLeon, is making the motion for this lighting. He has domestically violated our city and continuously does by sitting there. And anyone with their common sense would not ever vote for that moron ever again. And, it's sad that he's still even sitting there after all of the attempted repeating.
So, caller, I'm going to ask that you connect this to the item, or you can speak to that during general public comment.
Okay, fine. 31. Salvation Army. Let's think about the Salvation Army. Salvation Army is the most what's the word? They're not for the people. They are the highest when it comes to anything out there, as far as going to their Salvation Army stores. You're going to pay the highest dollar. You might as well go high retail because it is ridiculous. Plus the fact that the Salvation Army, when I was homeless, refused me for having a room because of the fact that I was gay and the fact that I had HIV. So let's not support the Salvation Army. They are a discriminating company. They are the worst company in the entire world, and they should never, ever get money. General public comment, please.
So you have 1 minute.
So, okay. So once again, Kevin DeLeon is sitting here doing nothing except spending money, our taxpayer money, on his campaign. Because once again, any kind of motion that Kevin DeLeon is making out there is factually giving him campaign money. So once again, let's stop entertaining Kevin DeLeon. And Paul Kukorian, you're the biggest hypocrite in the world, because you're the one that sits there and says one thing and then does the opposite. So again, stop kissing Kevin DeLeon's butt in public. We need to vote this jerk out. He's not for the people. He's violent. He's mentally ill, and he needs to go. Thank you.
Next caller, please.
He's way further
Next
out.
caller, which items would you like to speak on?
Caller, how does my vagina look on Halloween? I put a hat on it.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak on?
I'd like to speak on general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment. Please begin.
Yes, my name is Michael Lobster. This is not 1939. The Hollywood sign has killed more people than the Manson family. This is the best tool for human trafficking. The Hollywood sign is a mecca for kids to be killed and sucked into this lifestyle. Number two, Shells the Brocklanders, they make a great couple. Also, we need to take DNA samples from Sachs, Spindler, and Herman so we can clone them and make them forever and ever part of the city council. Thank you.
Fucking lobster, dude. Crazy.
Next caller.
Next caller, which items would you like to speak
Caller.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. Which items would you like to speak on?
May I just first state that in a city of 4 million people, when there's disabled, elderly, mothers home with kids, people at jobs, you have to take
So,
more
caller,
than
I'm going to ask you again, which items would you like to speak on? You can speak to that during general public comment, but are there items you would like to speak
Her
on?
whole point got stepped on.
I'll take 23, 24, and I believe it was 26 in general public comment. And please do
Okay,
not.
so you have 3
please
minutes
do
for the
not
items and 1
interrupt
minute
me
for
or
general
cut
public
off my
comment.
general public comment if you don't, if I'm opposing something. You are quick to cut off people that are in opposition, especially if they're black, brown, or indigenous
So,
folks.
caller, I need you to
item
stick to the
number-
items.
Okay, I'll do that. But you should have cut off the guy that was making, racist comments and
So, caller, this is your last
disgusting
warning. I
comments
need you to
about women.
stick to the items
Racist
first.
comments.
All right.
Your 3 minutes have already begun. Or I'm gonna-
Other callers made no
23.
racist comments.
Okay, so emergency declaration for homelessness.
Even Robot Dog was
this
nice.
was dated July 7th, 2023. Now, an emergency means to me something of urgency, right? And an emergency declaration on homelessness, it seems to me, one, Skid Row should have been ground zero for homelessness, right? In the emergency, since it's been around for decades. Y'all been working on homelessness for decades, and it's not being solved. It's actually getting worse, right? In addition, maybe you should have adopted the People's Budget LA, right? So instead of giving $3.4 billion plus another $87 million to LAPD, some of that could actually go to fund housing and resources for black and brown communities, right? Maybe we should look at that. In addition, you got elderly and women out there, and that needs it needs urgency. And in addition, you're developing more housing at market rate. You need to develop housing with affordable housing. Even if you put people up, they have to be able to afford it, right? That makes sense. So we need affordable housing, okay? That ties into number 24. Again, where's the urgency? This guy before mentioned the Red Cross. If there is an emergency, like a state emergency, it means you should be working on it 24/7, right? And you should be able to construct something or fill these empty buildings that are at market rate, right? Give the people housing. number 26. Let's see. 26 has to do with the economic roundtable. Again, why are you spending, the study is necessary, but we're wasting time with the study, and that's an exuberant amount of money that actually could go into services for black and brown communities. Okay, on to my general public comment.
Okay, so you have 1 minute for general public comment.
Somehow, the United States of America has $100 billion to send to Israel, right, for the genocide of Palestinian people that are currently being bombed, wiped out of their community, wiped out of their own country. But you all can't find the money to house people here, and our money should not be going, right, to the genocide of anyone. And let's look at the current occupation on Turtle Island, right here in the United States. Is an occupying force on indigenous land, right? Let's fund some indigenous folks. There's a current occupation going on right here in the United States of America, and that's right here on Turtle Island, right? We need to fund indigenous people. We need the LAPD and the sheriff to stop killing our folks out here, our black and brown and indigenous community members, right? And we need to adopt a people's budget LA. Adopt a people's budget. The community laid it out. They did your job for y'all.
All right, thank you very much. That will close public comment on all agenda items as well as general public comment.
Man, what was there, 3 callers?
Mr. Clerk, what is next available for us to vote on?
I don't think there was
Mr.
7
President,
people
the council
total
may now
in
vote on
chambers
items
and
1
out.
through 14 and 27 through 32.
Lobster, Stacy,
Very
Robot
good.
Dog.
Mr. Price, did
Thank
you
you, Mr.
need to be
President. I'd
heard
just
on
like
these items?
What am I missing?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to, I'm advised by the city attorney to
Oh,
recuse
and the other
myself
guy
from
who
items
calls every
21
once in a while, I heard him.
26.
There's 4 callers, maybe?
21
and 26. So we're going to be deferring those until the end because I am recusing as well. So we'll be taking those up after we take up our other items. So on items 1 through 14 and 27 through
No
32,
Brock.
those items are now before us. Do
Brock's
any
busy
members
getting
wish to
ready
be
for
heard?
Halloween.
Seeing none, let's open the roll, close the roll, and tabulate the votes.
Oh, boy.
15
A
ayes.
lot of flares.
Thank you. That will bring up next item 22 as amended by motion of council members Rodriguez, Blumenfield, and Rahman. Do any members wish to be heard on item 22? Seeing none, let's go ahead and open the roll. Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
15
Sound all
ayes.
fucked up.
Thank you. That will bring us next to item number 25, which was called special by Councilmember Hernandez. On this item, do any members wish to be heard? Seeing none, let's open the roll.
Okay, no fitty guns.
Close the roll and tabulate the votes.
13 ayes, 2 noes.
Okay, that will bring up next items 19 and 20 were called special by Mr. De Leon. Can we take those items up together?
I hear jets.
All right. Items 19 and 20 are now before us. Mr. De Leon.
Ooh.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kokorian, as well as colleagues. This measure, item 19, would provide an interim regulation of larger hillside houses proposed in northeast Los Angeles until the council officially adopts the final ordinance currently being reviewed by the city attorney to require site plan review of houses 2,500 square feet or larger. The current citywide ordinance establishes a significantly larger house size intended for large estate lots. However, in the meantime, proposed hillside houses in my district, in Northeast LA, are out of scale.
That's smoke rising? Yeah,
incompatible
right?
with the area's historical pattern of development. This ICO would give the city time to address the disconnect for a long time. I urge your support. And go to the next one.
Yes, if you'd like to speak to the other item.
I was
go.
clapping back there. It had to
And
be like
lastly,
Spindler.
I would say on item number 20, the planning department initiated the update to the Boyle Heights community plan nearly a decade ago. The community plan is moving through the legislative process and policies to protect affordable housing, address displacement of local residents, and legacy businesses are currently being developed, which is absolutely critical. In fact, my office is hosting an open house in Boyle Heights at the Boyle Heights City Hall, so the community can learn more about the proposed policies and give input to the planners. However, In the meantime, the real estate market is at work. And my office has witnessed a high rate of demolition permits being requested. This measure is grounded in real-world data.
Hi, Mr.
happening
Jimmy.
as we speak. Real estate developers are taking older properties with occupied RSO units, invoking the Alice Act, and applying for demolition permits. So low-income families are losing affordable housing. It's
no,
not just
Robert.
acute in City 14, but happening throughout the city of Los Angeles. I'm concerned about longtime tenants
Hi, Robin.
Protected by rent
Happy
control who are
Halloween.
now vulnerable to being displaced. Even legacy
Yeah, I think
commercial
we'll be,
businesses are being threatened by demolitions.
We'll definitely
This
be
measure
live
will
by
initiate
8:30.
policy
I mean, usually
to
I start at
prohibit
8, but
demolition
I know the
permits
kids,
involving
they
buildings with
hate having to go
occupied
back and
RSO
forth.
units.
So 8:30 tonight.
Until
I
such
think
time
is
the
good.
Ball
Good
Heights
time.
Community Plan update is enacted into law. So it's an interim short gap
Pacific
measure
Daylight
to prevent
Time.
the demolition of units that are RSO.
That way the East Coasters
The
can
city
go
planning
do their
commission
thing and
voted
enjoy and come
forward
home
its
and watch.
recommendations to the city council. My
People
office is
can
working
go
with
and
the
do
plum
their,
committee chair to take the
you know, they can do their thing till 8 o'clock or so, come home, chill for a half hour, and
the
boom.
Plum Committee for passing this
So otherwise I gotta go
motion
back
of
and
the
forth
committee
and ringing
announcing,
the fucking
Mr.
bell the whole
President, as well as
time.
colleagues, I respectfully ask for an aye vote.
Thank you. Do any other members wish to be heard?
Torrey's a
on items
firefighter
19 and
that
20?
was killed. Let
Seeing
down.
none, Mr. Clerk, can we take those
It's a
items
memorial
up together?
shirt for him.
Yes, Mr. President.
Okay, those items are now before us. Let's go ahead and open the roll.
That would be Gaza, Sav.
Close
It's
the
good to
roll
see
and
you.
tabulate the votes.
15 eyes.
Very good. That brings us next to items
No.
23 and 24,
Yeah,
which
that's-
were
yeah,
called
that's what I'm
special by
saying, Nunya.
Councilmember Rodriguez for questions. Councilmember Rodriguez.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'll begin by some general remarks
That's how you guys will
related
be
to item
getting all your
23.
things done and boom.
Colleagues, there's no question that we have an enormous
Chase Young to
emergency
San
on the
Francisco,
streets,
huh? I haven't
when it
seen
comes
that.
to addressing the homeless population.
the Clippers are gonna be better with
But I
Harden,
want to
huh?
be clear, one of the things that
Harden's
I
done.
continue to be frustrated
much
by
of a ball player
is
anymore.
that we continue to extend these
could
emergency
be wrong.
authorizations. And, thank you, Jenna, for being here with us. We extend these emergency authorizations, but what's really
same with
important is
Westbrook.
how we measure
Russell's
the
not the
work
same guy he
of
was.
what is
Mr.
being
Triple
actually
Double
conducted and
Machine.
completed on the streets.
He wasn't that.
And
He's
it's
not that guy
important because
anymore.
we've availed a great amount
Neither
of
is James
additional
Harden.
resources and discretion to the mayor's office to help fulfill.
Granted, you've put him in roles where he has to be one of, like the third or second,
However, one of the
shot
problems is that
at
we
the
continue
shot,
to
or
be,
second option
there
rather.
continues to be delays in what
when
those
he was
metrics
number
look
one
like. We
option,
continue to
but
provide this,
I don't know, man.
some blind trust, unfortunately.
I don't know.
And while I recognize that there was a process of, frankly, building the plane while flying it, we are now approaching.
Russell was
the 1 year
fantastic.
mark
Remember watching
of
UCLA.
Availing these types of this
Ball
lot
player.
of flexibility without still having the evaluative piece about.
Yeah, I
how
heard about the
cost-effective,
Montez Sweat thing.
This process has
Not,
been
the other
really
one you're
no
talking
clear
about.
delineation on
it's
where
Flare
these
City.
operations are deployed,
Lighting it
the
up for the ground
equity
troops
in the distribution
in the air
of where these
strikes.
efforts are deployed. Because when I look at the way certain operations have been conducted across the city of Los Angeles, it hasn't been. Some areas have received a substantial amount of effort.
It's weird how it does that, Rob,
and
because it
some
happens to me a
areas
lot.
continue
Sometimes I
to
think it's me on my
not
phone, like my
continue to
phone's
receive
just,
its
and then
share
like
of-
every third
of
comment will go
operations.
in.
And
I'm
so,
thinking, oh, maybe they're blocking me.
I think what's really important, and we are again approving the renewing of this
it's a
emergency
big
order
trade.
without having
Fools.
received the
Didn't hear about
metrics
that one.
that were promised to
Till
us.
Todd said just
And we
now.
continue to await. I know we've had these conversations extensively in the Housing and Homelessness Committee. But I just want to remind everybody, and again, I don't have a question specific to item 23. I'm just putting on the record again something that I've repeated.
Well, he fogged the lines.
consistently
He's doing
in
pretty
committee,
good, man. Look at him,
is
6 and
that
2.
In order for us to continue to extend the financial resources, in my opinion, we have to evaluate whether or not this approach is cost effective given all of the other approaches that we've completed in the past with respect to addressing homelessness in the city, and we've got other examples,
true,
whether it was
musicians.
through road maps and some of the other individual
That's why I never
efforts that we've
reapplied
done
for
in concert with
monetization.
LASA or some of our spa leads in
Like,
a
fuck
variety
that.
of our
They make enough
districts.
money.
But I think
They don't need my
from
money.
the perspective of being in the San Fernando Valley, looking at where the distribution of these efforts have been conducted.
Yeah, but
there
they're not
hasn't been,
shooting
you know,
flares
we
for
have
nothing.
a lot of conversations around this horseshoe and
That's
in
to
this
light up
building
the
around
targets.
equity. Fulfilling that hasn't really revealed itself in that manner, and so I really want to make sure that going forward, as you know,
I don't know,
as
Moxie.
these,
I mean, that's the
as
kind of
this
thing you don't
trust
want to
is being
rush
provided,
because he still can play
that
another couple years
the
if you don't
metrics,
rush him, you know.
that the evaluation, that the transparency
bad luck.
associated with the work is forthcoming.
Bad luck
because
that
I
it
know
happened.
these
I mean, the Jets are
conversations
just jinxed,
ongoing,
if you
and
ask
we
me.
continue to struggle.
I don't care who they
and we
pick at
ask
quarterback.
And we ask, and it's not really being met completely.
I mean, the same thing with the Browns in a
conversation.
sense.
So I
They
just-
can't
I know
draft a
we're gonna
quarterback
be in a
either. They've had
transition,
so many low
in that,
draft picks or
and
high
I
draft
just
picks in
wanted
a
to,
sense.
for the record,
At quarterback.
make sure that we
None of them
memorialize
panned out.
that expectation publicly for everyone to understand what is expected, because
Just
we
feel like
continue to
some
ask
teams
some of the
just
very
are
same questions
jinxed.
about how are these locations selected,
You know, in that
what is
sense.
the, you know, what is the cost per operation, and how do we evaluate that per the cost of previous operations that we've completed in the city. And I think it's really important for us to, and also to know what the success rate has been in transitioning some of these individuals from these interim sites. You know, what has
That's what I
been
was
their
saying. That's what I was just saying,
trajectory
Cass.
into making it into
It's no, it's, you know,
PSH or
again,
some other
they
type
know how to
of
draft defensive
permanent
players.
solution, whether it's
You know.
qualifying for.
I mean, the drafting
for
overall
some of
isn't
the,
all that great, considering again they've had
subsidies that
so
might
many
be
bad
availed to
seasons.
them,
You'd think that they've had
ways
enough
that
time to
they'll qualify
rebuild.
for so that they can actually
But
have
a lot of
resume
it's through free
independent living,
agency.
depending
you
on
know?
what their circumstances are. So I really look forward
Cooper,
to going forward.
right, it's their big
before the
receiver,
next
one of 'em,
request
free
for a
agent.
renewal of
Watson,
an emergency
free
order,
agent.
that we finally get answers. Really.
But on the defensive side of the ball, they seem
explicit,
to pick
detailed
good.
answers to a lot of the
Whoever's
questions that
picking the
remain
defensive
outstanding,
players,
with respect
you
to
keep
the
them.
emergency order. But
Whoever's picking their
for item
offensive players.
24, and this is this is regarding the emergent homelessness and
Ravens
housing
need
emergency
Saquon
action
Barkley.
plan.
How many more seasons does Saquon
in
have,
response to
Billy?
the emergency declaration.
Dude's almost done now. He's.
So we know
Oh,
among all the objectives that are listed.
At this point, you know, running backs,
in
remember, the
this,
shelf life is
that
3.5
we talk
years,
about
the average one.
Substance
So
abuse.
you might as well just roll with the good rookies.
Disorder program, all of these things. Again,
You know?
still very murky.
Usually a rookie has
not
out the
very,
gate is good.
You know, it doesn't.
There's nobody's really seen him
provide. We still haven't
other
received
than
a lot of
college
great
tape.
detail in terms of both the objectives. It's been defined very broadly. But it's always the details that matter when it comes to
Who won the World
expenditures
Series? Nobody,
associated with
yeah.
This council has approved
Game
a great
three's
deal of
tonight, or
resources,
game 4.
for these efforts without
Game 4 or
detail.
game 3?
And as I've said in
Game
committee,
3.
and as I said in budget,
Game 4.
You know, shame
Game
on
4
us.
tonight. Rangers are up
Because
2-1.
This is a collaboration.
That's game
This
4.
is efforts that need to
I don't
be
even know what
done
day,
with greater transparency,
what time it
particularly
is,
when
what anything
taxpayers
is.
have assessed
Yeah, it's
themselves
4,
through Measure H, through HHH, through all of these multitude of efforts, and now have
I
supplemented
think though
with
last
additional,
night,
general fund
you know, I
dollars
think the refs or the
that
umpires
we can all be
changed the
proud of and that
complexity
we
of the
know are
game.
making the highest and best use
They
of the
they
limited
jacked
resources that we
the
have.
D-bags.
And so
That
my
ball
team has
right off the
continued
gate.
to feel some
The ball
frustration,
right. I mean
with the lack of
that ball was a
responsiveness,
ball, not a
particularly with
strike.
respect to,
The dude ended up grounding out
we
right
know
after
there have
that.
been exits associated
You know?
with some of the
Alright,
operations.
enough of this shit. These
for
dumb,
example, with Inside
these
Safe.
dumb dicks are
We-
done. I don't want to hear her no more. There's no more general comment. So we'll hang out for a few more minutes. We're out of here. So yeah, that ball was a ball. That was not a strike. The dude ended up grounding out right after that, which changed the inning. You know, he should have been at first with no out. You know, so. But the fucked up part is, you know, it could roll that way with either team. So it just happened to be the bad luck of the D-backs for that game, you know. Dude, is that a... Oh, okay. Like a little meteor. Shooting all kinds of flares. They play in Arlington. He was a hockey player, bored. Read up on him. Yeah. Baseball's all about luck. Well, I mean, again, that's why I am for the electronic umps when it comes to balls and strikes. You know? So, yeah. Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see what's going on. That's their little popping. I mean, he's in the middle of the desert out there. The sound is poppy. No car chases, Mike. Why would you ask me that? You know if there was one, we'd be watching it, so. I don't understand the question. I certainly wouldn't be just watching this. I wouldn't even be watching the fucking LA City Council meeting. I'd be watching the chase. Trust me. It's just, there's not too many chases on Tuesday morning on 11:54. Now that I say that, I'm sure when I get off, there'll be a chase. Yeah, so we'll be live tonight, Mark. 8:30 Pacific Daylight Time. So adjust to your time zones. That way it gives me plenty of time to give these little rats, these little kids, all their candy. You know what I mean? And you too. You guys got to do it too. You don't want to keep watching and fuck back and forth and back and fucking forth and back and fucking forth. And you can't leave the goddamn bowl out there and just do the honor system like the guy at Runyon Park today. Just take 2 pieces each. Shit, you get some teenager. Dump the whole fucking thing. Great, guys, we don't even have to go all the way trick-or-treating now. Got a big old bag. None of the little kids get anything. That's how it works. I'm giving out all kinds of stuff, Moxie. Like, you know, little Twix, Milky Ways, M&M's, Snickers. Little bite-sized ones. All right, guys, I'm out of here, but I appreciate you for hanging out for the early show there. And I guess I will see you guys in not too many hours from now, 8:30 tonight, man. All right? All right? You guys be good. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Hasta la vista, baby.